안녕하세요, 여러분. 저는 소라입니다.
And I'm Ed, and you're listening to the
Vamos a Jeju podcast. 안녕하세요. Today we're going to talk about the beautiful coastline in Jeju Island. In Jeju, we have 12 official beautiful beach, but still, of course, this is an island, so we have a lot more to see around the coastline, and there's a lot to do. And among those, my favorite thing is watching dolphins. Hey, Ed, do you remember the time when we go to dolphin watching together?
Yeah, I actually remember that very clearly because your husband Jaden had brought his drone out, and then when he flew the drone, I think he wasn't paying attention, and it flew into maybe telephone wires or power cables, and it came crashing down. I don't think it was too badly damaged, but I know he was not happy about that. But I was very happy looking at the dolphins. It was very beautiful. Before that time, I had actually gone with Michelle to the same area, the Sunset Coastal Road in the southwest of Jeju, and it was quite amazing because we just drove. We saw other cars parked there, and so I pulled over and got out, and we're just like, "Oh, what are they looking at?" And then a bunch of dolphins like just popped up like 10 meters from us. It was it was amazing. It's like, whoa, it is so close.
So around the Jeju coastal area, we have more than 120 dolphins, and most of the time they are spotted in the west coast, but sometimes they're coming to the east coast. So usually my husband Jaden and I always check Instagram for the cafes nearby, or there's some like people who are like taking photos of dolphins. So we check them and then like, where is the dolphins? And then we drive to there. Also, I like to wait for the sunset while waiting the dolphins, because in the west coast, we call the road Sunset Coastal Road because the sunset there is beautiful. So I recommend you to wait for the dolphin and then sunset at the same time. And Jaden's dream is to take photo with sunset and dolphin together.
Right, and I think he's taken maybe like 50,000 photos of dolphins at this point. And I guess he's still trying to find his dream shot where there's a dolphin jumping out of the water with the sunset in the background. That's just one of the many fabulous things that you can do at around the fabulous coast of Jeju. And I've often talked about how Jeju is like Hawaii, but at a fraction of the cost, and nothing speaks to this better than the coast of Jeju. I mean, around the coast of Jeju, obviously you have those beautiful white sandy beaches, but you also have the black sandy beaches. You've got great water sports all around. I'm talking about scuba diving, we're talking about kayaking and windsurfing, and of course surfing. And we've got like beautiful Instagram-worthy places. And there are special things that are not in Hawaii. We've got the haenyeo, we've got windmills, and this full spectrum of the amazing things that one can do on the coast of Jeju is what we're going to talk about today.
Where was your best sunset coastal area in Jeju?
I was trying to think of a different place than the Sunset Coastal Road, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to figure out one. And so I'm going to say the most spectacular sunset I've seen in Jeju is where the dolphins are, the Sunset Coastal Road in the southwest.
And the other sunset I like a lot is in the northwest area, like Hallim-Hyeopjae, because near that beach, you can see small islands near Jeju Island, which is Biyangdo. So you can actually see the sunset and the small island together. And it's really, really beautiful as well.
And so those are great places, I think, to like maybe stop, take a photo, maybe have a picnic, maybe eat some squid with beer, but only if the wind is not too strong, because sometimes the wind there can be quite powerful.
Very, very, right.
And so we talk about sunset, but for the sunrise, we have to move to the eastern part of the island. Where are some good places to see the sunrise.
So of course, the number one is near Seongsan Sunrise Peak, right? Right. So near the Seongsan Sunrise Peak, there's one small coastal area like Gwangchigi Haebyang. So there you can take photo with the sunrise peak and the sunrise together. It's really,
Oh,
really
yes, I
beautiful.
mean that. Yeah, the sun's coming up behind
Mm-hmm.
Seongsan Ilchulbong. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is a great photo.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
if you time it just right, if it's low tide, the beach you see at low tide, you see like tide pools and you see like the rocky formations. It is a really great shot. So where else on the eastern shore is a great place to catch a magnificent sunrise, assuming you can wake up in time?
Right. So in the northeastern part, Kimnyang Beach, this is really, really beautiful. Like a long sandy beach with the black stones and also windmill together. And there is actually a camping place. So you can bring your camping car to the parking lot and then wait for the sunrise. And actually, this place is not like too famous for sunrise. So you can have like very quiet, tranquil time for the sunrise.
So I know today we talked about like wow, we can do like dolphins in the southwest and we can do like beautiful beaches in the northeast. It gets pretty confusing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a separate blog post to capture all this and to find out more about the different locations. You can go to Jeju/coast. Bouncing back to the west coast again. It's actually in the northwest part of Jeju. There's this place where there's a lot of windmills, and then there's a trail that connects a few of these windmills together, and it's called, I'm going to say it in a Englishy way, it's called the Sinchang Windmill Coast. I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called in Korean, Sora?
신창 풍차 해안도로.
Okay, that would be the Sinchang Windmill Coastal
풍.
Road. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and so
풍차. You know what is 풍차, right?
Pung is wind,
And then
and
차,
cha is like,
풍차.
I don't
The
know what cha is.
car,
A car,
charter.
wind car. So in that area, it's also very spectacular. If you time it just right and you go for a walk around the windmills, and it takes you right to the base of some of the windmills, and you can actually hear it go. Woof, woof. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can rent bicycles there and ride around, and it's all in all, it's a very beautiful place to go. You need either a car or a taxi to get there. It's not it's not well served by buses. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I think we've covered like east and west coast sunset and sunrise.
Sunrise.
But
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed we talk about windmills a lot, so maybe this
Mm-hmm.
is a good time to talk about windmills in general, because Jeju has a lot of windmills. At least for me as a visitor, they're very beautiful to look at. So those are some places that are very iconic of Jeju. Like you see them on a lot of K-dramas, like Samdari. So I've seen a lot of people like take selfies in front of these windmills. So where are some places besides Sinchang Windmill Coastal Road that people can see windmills and take photos?
Actually, the windmills are all around the Jeju Island. As you mentioned, in Sinchang, near Sinchang area, there's lots of windmill. And also in the east coast, like northeast, near Kimyeong, Waljeongni, like along those coastline, there's a lot of windmill as well. So especially in Waljeong Beach or Kimyeong Beach, you can take photo with those windmills and the emerald color beautiful beach.
Okay, so the first time I heard you describe the beaches as like having an emerald color, I was like,
Mhm.
wait, emerald is green. And so when I looked at the beach, it's like, this isn't green, this is turquoise. It's like a
Uh-huh.
sparkling light blue color. And so I
Mhm.
just want the audience to know that if you ever hear a Korean describe their beautiful beaches as emerald color, just know that they mean turquoise. So
Mhm.
it is not a sparkling green beach, it is a sparkling light blue color.
I think it's kind of Konglish. I don't know. We just say emerald color beach.
Well, technically, you call it emerald color.
에메랄드 color.
Emerald color.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha. Yeah, and so those beaches are beautiful to take photos. But if your plan is to go to these beautiful turquoise beaches to suntan, just know that you may be the only one, right, Sora?
Yeah, because for Koreans, we don't really like to like expose in the sun because sun protection is so important for Korean. Like for me, even I go out for like just 30 minutes, I need to put my sunscreen. It's mandatory stuff. So in summer, if we go to the beach, we always wear like long sleeve and like long pants so we can protect from the sun. And then we always stay in the shade.
And if you go into the water, you're wearing rash guards. You're pretty much covered up as well if you go into the water, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like long sleeve, rash guard. And sometimes like ajummas wearing a glove because they don't want the sun coming to their...
touch.
Uh-huh.
So we should probably explain what ajummas are.
Ajumma is like senora.
Senora, an older woman. Is that because of like they don't want their skins to age too quickly, or is it about skin cancer? Like which is it? Is it beauty or is it health?
I think it's more beauty. Also health, but I guess it's more beauty.
Yeah, it's the reason why there's a thing called K-beauty, I guess. So, I see.
Right.
Okay.
For Korean, like sunscreen is like always mandatory every day, even in cloud day, in winter, of course, always.
Gotcha. So we've talked about picturesque places like windmills on the coast, beaches on the coast. Another thing that we see on the coast that's very Insta-worthy, and that is, at least on the northern part of the island, all these cafes just by the shore. Yeah, it's like, tell us more about these cafes. Like this, there must be over 100.
I think a lot more than hundreds. Because like in Jeju, we have a lot of cafes, and if it has beautiful view, we always have cafe around. And especially in the northwest and northeast area, we have like cafe streets. Because like Koreans love to be in the cafe, like have coffee, talking to each other, and then like enjoy the view. That's what Koreans really enjoy. So yeah, we always go to the cafe, and then also it's for the photos as well, like to take Insta-worthy photos.
I think selfies in Korean is called selka, right?
Selka, right? Selka.
Selka.
Self-camera.
Self-camera. That actually makes sense. That's
right?
one Konglish word that actually makes sense. And one thing I wanted to point out is that a lot of times, if you come like on the weekends, you see families, with little kids running around. And so some of our listeners are going to travel to Jeju with their kids. What are some family-friendly beaches that people can go to?
Mm-hmm. First of all, I think to be family friendly, it should have shallow water. It cannot have like deeper water, right? Because the kids want to go in the water and then play. So I think the best one in the northeast is Hamdeok Beach. So that one has like very shallow water, and then lots of restaurants, cafe, and hotels, like many facilities that you can use. And also like small mountain nearby. So you can just take a walk with the sunset. And the other one is in Pyoseon area. The white sandy beach is really beautiful, shallow water. And in the low tide, when the water receded, you can actually walk around the area, and it's very safe for the kids. And also there is a resort nearby. So I think those two beaches are the perfect place for family.
Right. And Pyoseon Beach especially, it is a big U-shaped bay. And so when the water has completely receded, it is a huge sandbox. The kids can run around. It's like a massive play area where the kids can run around, fly kites, and the water stays out for a long time. So it's not like it's going to come gushing back in a hurry. So like it's very safe for children. And when the water is in, at best it's like up to your knees. It's not deep at all. So it is perfect for families to bring their children, have a picnic. It's great. And so, speaking of Pyoseon Beach, I noted when I was there with my wife that when the water was in, in the middle of the bay, so far away from all the little children, very far away from the little children. There were people who were windsurfing and kite surfing because it was a very windy day. And so I think this is a great place for us to talk about sea sports around the coastal area of Jeju. So I've mentioned about windsurfing and kite surfing, but what are some of the other sea sports that people can get to if they are outdoorsy?
Mhm. So usually what I do is free dive, and what you do scuba dive. In Jeju, we have lots of diving places, especially in the southern area, like Seogwipo City. You can do scuba diving, free diving around that area. And also we have lots of place for kayaking, like especially in Waljeong or Gwangchigi, like the emerald color beach. They have like transparent kayak. So you can get in and then you can actually see underneath of your kayak.
Okay.
Mhm. And another thing, we can also surf around Jeju Island. For surfing, we have like many different beach almost everywhere. But the thing is, for surfing, you really need to pick the right date for the wave.
Earlier, you talked about how you do free diving and I do scuba diving. And when we were in Seogwipo City, I did go out diving with a dive store called Cool Dive, and it was a great experience. It was not as cold as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be freezing. One thing I noticed though, when I was walking around the island, I didn't see as many dive stores. They all seem to be around Seogwipo City. Is that right? Like, is Seogwipo City the only place to do diving on Jeju?
It's not the only place, but the main place for diving is Seogwipo, the southern area, right? But we do have many scuba diving or free diving center in the northwest area as well, like Ewol, Hallim, like those places. We have them.
The other thing I like about Jeju a lot is the hiking. And so a lot of the hiking takes me to the coastal areas around Jeju, like we talked about a lot. And there are three things I wanted to point out. Like if you're hiking along the coast, you're gonna see a lot of traces of the haenyeo. Now, if you go early enough in the day, you will actually see the haenyeo gear up and bring the stuff into the water and all that, like we talked about in the haenyeo museum episode. But if you go there later in the day, you will see evidence of their work, which is like they're hanging out at their modern pool dock, I guess, with modern showers and modern rooms and modern facilities. But you'll see them hanging out their wetsuits and the orange buoys, their nets and all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing to look forward to if you're actually walking around the coast. Another thing that caught my attention was you see these older ladies, ajummas, hanging out their squid to dry. Imagine like a clothesline, a very long clothesline, but instead of clothes, it's squid. And we're talking about not one or two squids. We're talking about like thousands of squids. Someday Jeju's gonna run out of squid. Like look at how much they fish the squids out of the water. Like eventually you're gonna run out of squid, I guess. But yeah, if you've never seen it before, it is quite a sight to behold. Like rows upon rows of squids drying in the sun. So that's kind of awesome. And also it's really great to eat the squid with beer, but maybe that's another episode. And then the third thing is like the ports. Like if you like seeing like, boats go in and out of small little ports, like there must be over 100 ports around the coast of Jeju, and the water is always turquoise as well. Not like the beach, but it is like clear blue. If you look down, you can see fish swimming around the boats. It's just fantastic. And yeah, if you like to fish, there are a lot of people often fishing around the ports as well.
And one more thing I want to add is that like some tourists ask me like where and when can I see the haenyeo woman divers, and I'm like, who knows, because they usually dive in the morning, but it depends on the weather. So we really don't know what time or where they're gonna start the work. So if you want to spot them, like at, maybe you can do like lots of hiking around the coast, then you will see some in the morning.
Yeah, there are some ways to kind of narrow it down. Like to your point, if you want to see haenyeo, but the weather forecast shows that it's going to be windy or rainy or just bad weather, there's a good chance that where you are, the haenyeo may not go. On the other coast, they may go, or in the south part, they may go. But like if you're on the west, they may not go if the weather is not great. So that's number one. Number two is if you go late in the day, you're gonna miss them already. They will usually be done before noon. So if you're planning on if you party late and you wake up at like noon, yeah, you're not gonna see the haenyeo. However, there are ways to see haenyeos doing other things. For instance, if you go late in the day, sometimes you see like one or two haenyeos who are not doing actual seafood harvesting. They are actually harvesting seaweed. And they're like putting out their seaweed out to dry in the sun by the road. Or if you are in the bay around Seongsan Ilchulbong, the bay, where when the tide goes out, you will see haenyeo actually harvesting clams and other seafood in the sand. Yeah, so that's how you can see some haenyeos if you slept in or if the weather's bad. So we've reached the part of the show, Sora, where we, as always, share some useful Korean phrases with our audience. And we call that Handy Korean with Sora Sam!
Woo!
Woo! It's the first time I'm cheering for you. So, Sora, tell us, so what are we going to cover today?
So today we were talking about going to a cafe near like beautiful beach. So when you go to the cafe, you need to order something. And it's actually quite easy because for like coffee menu, we just use English word like Konglish. You just make it sounds like Korean. For example, Americano is Americano. And then latte is latte. And what else? Cafe mocha is
Espresso?
cafe mocha. Espresso. Koreans don't drink espresso a lot. So I think most of Koreans drink Americano or latte.
No, actually, to be clear, most Koreans drink ice Americano.
Ice Americano.
So why are we talking about all these coffees? I'm sure it's because we're going to help them order coffee at these cafes on the coast, right?
Because we have talked about 주세요, please give me from the previous episode, and also 하나, 둘, 셋, like 1, 2, 3. So the order for Korean is you say the noun first, number, and then please give me. So for example, it's gonna be 아메리카노 하나 주세요.
Americano 하나 주세요. And if I wanted to order an ice Americano, I will say the long version first, which is ice Americano 하나 주세요. Or, because Koreans like to keep everything short, it will be 하나 주세요.
If you say like most of people understand it is ice Americano. 하나 주세요.
So if you like to see the phrases that we just covered today, check out our show notes. We'll cover like how to order coffee, and we will help you combine the different parts of Korean that you've learned with Sora in the last few episodes into a bigger sentence. Now, if today's show has got you thinking, I really want to go to Jeju to order a and sit and watch the dolphins and the sunset and the windmills, well, we've got something for you. We've taken everything that Sora and I know about visiting Jeju as a DIY traveler, and we've put it into a 14-part email series.
So to get that email straight to your inbox, you can just sign up vamosajeju.com/starts. And then for the latest update, you can follow us Vamos a Jeju on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook group. And finally, the best way for a new podcast to grow is organically. So if you found this episode helpful, please share us with your friends. And who knows, maybe we will Vamos a Jeju together.
And with that, all that's left for us to say is
안녕.
안녕. Get all our latest articles, videos, and resources on Jeju DIY travel, culture, and history at vamosajeju.com. That's VAMOSAJEJU.com. If you would like to get updates about Jeju or even Korea sent straight to your email, sign up for our dispatches at vamosajeju.com/update. And finally, the best way for a new podcast like this to grow is organically. So if you found this episode helpful, please share us with a friend. And who knows, maybe you'll Vamos a Jeju together this year. The Vamos Our Jeju podcast is part of the Passport Optional Network.